Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's cHB, and today in the arena, I know what you're thinking, it's not Friday, but we're doing competitive historic brawl. Nonetheless, you see, when a major card is banned in standard, like the Meat Hook Massacre, it can kind of just dilute the video content to the point where people kind of call it dead standard. You have these 3 days before the update, before standard becomes what standard will be, what we all know standard will be. And while we could brew decks for the Meat Hook meta, we can't test them because the first time we run into a Meat Hook, the testing is tainted. At the same time, if we build a deck and don't put Meat Hook in it, we can try to learn stuff from that, but once again, you go up against decks that are tuned to battle Meat Hook Massacre. People play around Meat Hook Massacre, whether we know that or not. So basically, having an upcoming ban taints standard. So we're going to do Historic Brawl in the meantime. Usually I do Historic Brawl on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Instead, we'll be doing new meta standard videos, including probably a new meta standard stream on Thursday to go with probably a Historic Brawl video that I record on Wednesday and release on Thursday. So you will probably see 2 to 3 days of Historic Brawl videos while we wait for Standard to rotate. Then you'll see no Historic Brawl this weekend and not until the weekend after this one. So a lot of fresh, non-meat hooked vegan standard until then. So there you go. 3 days of Historic Brawl, then no Historic Brawl for a while. So on Patreon, the deck that was winning the poll for my next Historic Brawl commander at the time that this happened is Niv-Mizzet Parun. Niv is a super powerful commander, a card drawing machine in the command zone, a dragon wizard for a blue, a blue, a blue, a red, a red, a red, a 5/5 that can't be countered. And whenever you draw a card, it deals 1 damage to a target. When a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, you draw a card. So right away, can't be countered is really huge in Historic Brawl, especially in high Q. And trust me, we're playing really close to Hell Q or just below Hell Q with this one, because blue is such a powerful color in Historic Brawl. Secondly, the ability to basically be a card advantage engine as long as you have instants or sorceries, or if your opponent has instants or sorceries, means you don't have to run too much card draw. You're going to draw a ton of cards just because Niv-Mizzet is Niv-Mizzet. So you can build up your deck in a couple of cool ways. One thing that you should always have is the Curiosity combo. This card is in Arena, brought to you through Jumpstart. If Curiosity is on Niv-Mizzet, then whatever enchanted creature deals damage to an opponent, you may draw a card. So you draw a card, triggering Niv, making you deal damage to any target, so you deal it to the opponent. So you draw a card, triggering Niv, letting you deal damage to, you just keep going. As long as you have enough cards in your library to deal as much damage as it takes, you will win, and you will draw your deck while doing it. Very cool. So you should run that regardless. The 2 primary ways I found to run Niv, and both are very good. It was actually hard to choose which video to run. You can run what I would call proactive Niv, ramp into Niv. This is a deck that runs a ton of mana rocks, a ton of treasures, and a ton of big spells, and it's just trying to mana rock on turn 2, some kind of treasure maker on turn 3, Niv on turn 4, and then Niv like every single turn after that. Since Niv is so hard to deal with, and since if it survives a turn, you start triggering it yourself, you basically run away with the game, it's a very successful strategy. However, it's a little bit of a toilet gamer strategy, meaning you can basically do it from the toilet, it's so easy. So I'm playing draw, like I think what most people brew when they brew Niv, which is draw go Niv. We're going to try to counter and remove every single thing that our opponent plays. We will ramp into Niv a little bit. We are playing Treasure Map, we are playing Dragon's Horde, we are playing Unexpected Windfall and Big Score, which are huge cards in this deck. We're playing Spell Swindle and Goldspan Dragon. All of these can help us get Niv down a little bit faster, because the more mana you have when you play Niv, the more spells you can cast when you play Niv. The more spells you cast, the more cards you draw. The more cards you draw, the more likely you are to draw the mana you need to play Niv again in the near future and just take over the game. So that's what's up. But the rest of the deck is intentionally very interactive to try to keep the opponent from doing the cool things that they want to do to win the game. And we have a lot of great options for that in Izzet. To go over a couple, of course, we have a Braid and Prismari command, which are great against the mana rocks of the format. We have this card Lazotep Plating, which I wouldn't have put in this deck normally. I'm all about protecting Niv-Mizzet and all, but I would do it with a card like Dive Down or Slip Out the Back. Then I cast Thought Distortion, one of the only good cards against Niv-Mizzet, from a mono black deck like Sheldred against Niv-Mizzet, and they played a Lazatev plating, which doesn't counter it, but it gives the controller hexproof. And it effectively countered Lazatev plating. Because you're going up against so many things that can't be countered, and because every queue that has Niv probably has some concessions to Niv in their deck building, we actually need cards that can't be countered or get around the can't be countered clause ourselves. That's why we have Divide by Zero, recently unnerfed from Alchemy, so back to functioning the way it was in paper. That's why we have Commit, although I put Commit in most of my decks. These interact with spells on the stack without countering them, and we're sure to both run into the Niv Mirror and a lot of other spells that can't be countered, so it affects what cards you put in your deck. We also face a lot of mono white kind of aggro piles, which surprised me a lot in this queue, but they are very popular, Heliod and Adeline being the most popular. So we do run Sweltering Suns, Anger of the Gods, we do run Storm's Wrath, we also run Burn Down the House, and we have River's Rebuke as a number of ways to reset the board and give Niv time to take over the game. It's a sweet deck. It's a very exciting card. If you don't mind the is-itness, then it is one hell of a dragon, and it was a really fun video to make, so I think you're really going to like these games. Today's patron shout out goes to Ziza Reinhold. Thank you very much for your support. If you would like a shout out in a video, check out the perks for Patreon through the link in the description, or go to Covert Go Blue on patreon.com. That's patreon.com/Covert Go Blue. Ziza, you're very cool. Now let's dive in. Let the historic Brawl Niv nonsense begin. Okay. Gonna hit him with that Abrade and that Electrolyze. What are they playing? Emery. Oh no, I'm running a deck without Karn, and that's a really good commander. But we can kill Emery a few times. Sometimes you just have to fend Emery off until you can do your thing. Maybe we'll draw even more ways to kill Emery. You'll see. It's the Emery shooting gallery you all get to witness. Let's go with blue and get our scry on. Yep, just hit our land drops. Field of Ruin, a little bit of an issue. We might have to figure out how and when to use that. I still think it's worth running, but it does cause you some trouble in this deck sometimes. Moonsilver Key. They can sack that to get a basic land or a artifact with a mana ability, which is often Forsaken Monument or Key to the Archive. And there's Inventor's Fair, which can go right out and draw our opponent their Paradox Engine. Okay, they got a Lantern down there. Dude, the deck is all about Paradox. It's probably one of the best Paradox Engine decks because all it needs is the commander and something like a Soul Guide Lantern and a Mana Rock, and Paradox Engine just draws your deck. Because they can keep untapping Emery and getting it back over and over and over and over. We're pretty happy right here, though. Our opponent has no artifacts on the field going into their turn 4, which means Emery's very expensive. Yeah, they did choose the key. Oh man, I played out my mountain. Punished. Maybe we'll draw into another. Oh wait, you can reveal. It doesn't have to be basic. It doesn't have to be basic. Sweet. So, I kind of wish... Well, okay, I can shoot that. Opponent going for Solemn instead of Key because they think I have a counterspell. I was gonna say Electrolyze would be great at shooting Emery. I wish I still had the Abrade. Got plenty of card advantage in hand. Nice to see. Could Field of Ruin that Inventor's Fair, but I don't feel a need to right now. Let's try to do it next turn, though. Alright, do we try to commit that? If they counter it, how broken are we? It's not great, but I think we have to try to fight over such a huge mana advantage for as long as we can. Okay, well, I got a bird. This deck also needs a big density of artifacts, so while they're going to play a number of counter spells, it's usually right to make them play them. Make them have it. Alright, Just one artifact out there for the opponent right now. That's probably not good. So do we play field and try to go after that Inventor's Fair? If we do that, we don't get to draw cards. I think I'm better off playing this tapped. Give them the business. The birdie business. They got Fading Hope? Okay. You get a little scry. Scry to the bottom. The manual taps are coming out. Look out. It's dangerous. Metamorph for key. That's gross. That's not good for us. How many time warps do you think they have? Notice how they left 5 mana up? My key pulls, I just end up discarding what I pull because it's all bad. And considering how much removal is in the spellbook, and I don't have anything for them to remove, it's like, why can't they get bad key pulls? Just discard them. They suck anyway. Well, what's that say about their hand? It's about time they redeployed Emery. Three out of 4 artifacts. Mox Amber. That's a good one. Memory Deluge. Opponent appears to have counterspell available, but we still need to try to take like removal, and I guess we could Fading Hope Emery. I don't know if that really matters. I don't think we have time for treasure map. We definitely might blow up that Inventor's Fair. Definitely might. Protection? Protection. We're coming down to it on cards. There's only 2 left. If they replay Emery and then we shoot it with Explosion, we're really happy. Pretty good. Pretty good for restoring balance to the force here. Uh-huh. Mill it up. Still no engine down there. 3 cards in hand. Okay. Keep it coming. You. Actually, what does this do? +1 for a Thopter, 0 to draw. Okay. Please +1 for your Thopter. Please +1 for your Thopter. Because then you can activate your Inventor's Fair, right? There you go. You will not activate your Inventor's Fair. Alright, my turn. Unfortunately, I shuffled away my Mighty River's Rebuke. So how the heck am I going to deal with Tezzeret? I guess I get a draw 4. So yeah, let's play Niv in this brainstorm for awesomeness. Why did it... Oh yeah, because all colored sources. I was going to say, why did it leave up the Shivan Reeve? Now I know. Uh-oh, rope comes out on their last card. It's not a nothing. It's a something. Counter the brainstorm. Okay. That is fine. We still get to kill off Emery, so Emery doesn't get value this turn. And the opponent is top decking. They do get to draw with the Tezzeret, which is very good. And we'll see if they can come up with a solution to the situation.
Let's see how you respond to genius.
Pretty good that they had another counterspell up their sleeve, huh? Now we've got to beat it. Emery again. Like I said, it's a shooting gallery. You have to kill Emery on sight every time. That's a good draw. That is a really good draw. A really busted draw from the opponent. All right. If we play it again, we don't get a trigger, which means Emery gets a card. What does Emery get? Nothing too devastating. Chromatic Ori is a very good card. On the other hand, we could fire off an explosion, keep Emery dead, draw like 4 cards, assuming the opponent doesn't have another counterspell. Yeah, I think we go for Niv here. I think we let the opponent have an Emery turn.
Cold logic will always win.
It's a close game. The person who draws best from that position a turn ago is going to win. Right now, our opponent, like, they need to keep it up, though. Just like we had to keep up with Emery early, now we have to keep up with them. I'm sorry, they have to keep up with us. So, Oracle of the Alpha. They have the power 9 in their deck. That's really good. That is really good. Did they have that down there and I missed it? I guess so. What does this do? Search for a basic? I guess? Alright, we drew an opt. We drew a castable spell, everybody. There is hope. Do we wait for them to do something to us? I think so. Well, Emery getting this back is just what they're gonna do, and we don't want them to bounce this again. Alright, we do it now. Scorching Dragonfire, that's a good one. Nope. Not good enough. Thank you. Deck. Alright, do we take out the Sigh? Do we take out the Sigh or do we hold? Let's hold. We've got an Expansion Explosion. There might be something worth copying, although it's unlikely. I just need to untap with this Niv one time, and we will shoot down all this nonsense. All of it.
You're still one step behind.
Yes, Tezzeret, that is accurate. I am still a step behind, but not that far behind. We just need them to draw 2 land in a row, something I am really good at when I play Emery. I draw 2 land in a row pretty often. So we have to watch out for this. It's 4 damage to a creature, so we're not blocking. Scry to the bottom. You know what else they could do to help me? Draw some instants and sorceries. That would help. They go for Emery again. Emery Mills. Time Walk. Good to know. Shadow Spear, yep. It continues. Don't touch my Niv. Alright, equip to Emery. Sure. They go to end step. Well, having open mana doesn't do much for us, I don't think. Let's go ahead and use the Dragonfire. There's a counter. They didn't leave defense for Tezzeret. That is a Shark Typhoon.
Don't try that again.
I would love to cast it, but I need the triggers from Niv too much. All right, take out the big bad Tezzeret. There's something about Niv, man. It can be so inevitable. Oh, the opponent is using Psi to draw? Okay. Get those Thopters off the board. I like that.
Curse you.
Dude, do we go for the Shark Typhoon? No way, right? No way. Not when we have a Niv. Not when we have all this card draw. Yeah, we make them deal with us. They might make a bunch of Thopters too, and that's okay. Yeah, if they want to dig, they should dig. I like them sacrificing their own board to dig. Search for his Kanta. Sure. Protect the Queen. That is a big creature. Holy crap. And now I guess I also have to kill the Psi. Because the Psi is going to make enough Thopters that they can sack and get the metalwork back. If they counter the Chemister's Insight, that fine. It triggers the Niv. They're thinking about it, though. They're thinking about it. Uh-huh. All right. Resolve. 1. All right, so that was that trigger. This is 2. This is 3. One more trigger is 4. Let's expansion our insight. Yay, we're drawing cards. Anger of the Gods. Yep, at this point, the counter doesn't matter. We're going to kill what we need to kill. Ooh, Curiosity. Could be game over. So the opponent can sack their Shadow Spear and their Thopter, buy back their Metalwork Colossus, cast it. All of that is fine. If they use up a lot of mana, we play Curiosity on Niv and we win. They're also empty-handed. Man, are we going to beat 2 Key to the Archives? Think we will. There it is. The combo assembled. And that is a ping into a draw, into a ping, into a draw, into a ping, into a draw, into a W. Gallia. You should be dancing. We'll keep a Lightning Bolt Brittle Blast hand, and we've got the combo ready to go if we get that much mana. I almost wish it didn't have Discover the Formula. A really sweet card, but it sits in the exact same spot as Niv, who we kind of, in this matchup, I think we just run it out and try to drop a Curiosity. Zap, zap. Think you can just go Zoomer haste on me? I'm a Parun. I didn't get to be Parun for nothing. Little scry to the top and another hasty critter. Ooh, it's a pretty good little exile effect I've got here. And sweltering suns. Sure, let's hang out. So Brittle Blast says, creatures and planeswalkers gain if this would die, exile it instead perpetually. And it does 5 damage to something, so that's really good. We don't have to target the Kenra with it to exile it, we just have to hit something with it. Like this Gallia. How many ways can we kill a Gallia? Don't worry, this will get swept up later by the suns. What's going to become important is just hitting enough land drops to do our combo. More removal, I love it. Questing beast mode. Too big, must be countered. Ooh, a 5-drop. That's not good. Do we cycle the suns? Oh man, I kind of want... I think I have to. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Mana Screw comes for us all. We were riding high. We had plenty of land. Now we find ourselves in a pickle. Our opponent plays their little creatures. We cycled our suns. We can't draw land. Expressive? We found it. We found the land. Alright, so we'll play the temple this turn. This can go to hand. It's also the 3 blue that we needed. Swan Song, not it. You want to use the castle? You do. All right, let's exile you. Nine life. Should be enough to get us through another turn. A big question we have to ask ourselves is, do you just run this out? Because it's going to take, like... The other thing we can do is we can sit on the Swindle. If the opponent... Like, if the opponent does nothing, or if they do the castle thing again, we can abrade the Celebrant. Right? And then, if they do something, we Swindle it, and maybe we can do it all in one turn. Play Niv, Curiosity, cast Spell. Hopefully it's not Gallia, though. That's only 2 treasures. We'd have to top an untapped land. Oh, that'll do. Oh, baby, that'll do. Let's go. And then, from the edge of defeat, the Parun arises on the horizon and says, you know what makes me curious? Knowledge. I wake up every day seeking knowledge. And the opponent was defeated. The party, the dance, came to an end. Very unclear why Wizards thinks that the thing you want most when you build a deck and pick a commander is to play the mirror, but they do. So you will. A lot. And with Niv, it's a particularly weird, one-sided, kind of stupid game. However, this hand has multiple ways to kill Niv. If we miss land drops, we will lose. I feel like we should go for a better hand. But I also... Like, when it's the mirror, I'm half checked out because it's the mirror. So we're going to just keep it. if we draw land, we have a lot of ways to shoot a Niv, and we're going to rely on that. We also run a lot of land, so hopefully we'll find them. That technically works as a land. Yep, must die. Treasure map and Niv were together in standard, and it was what made the Niv deck good. Wonder what plating will do here. There could be a turn where that's crucial, like against their Curiosity. Field of Ruin, they're gonna have to use it. If they don't use it, they will never play their Niv. Yay, we drew land. Perfect. Uh-huh. So I think my opponent's about to go for a perfect brainstorm. And Lazotep plating might actually blow this up. The perfect brainstorm in Magic lore is when you draw 3 cards, put back 2 cards that suck, and then use a shuffle effect like Field of Ruin or a fetch land to shuffle away the 2 cards you didn't want anyway. Opponent doesn't go for it. I guess they really wanted this Bankbuster. Man, if they had gone for it, the blowout would have been priceless. Let's electrolyze their face and try to get a new card. Ended up taking Bankbuster out of my build. No regrets on that one. All right, we're ahead on land now. How do we make sure we get another land? I guess we use an intervention. So let's let the opponent draw. And there's our lands. They're both tapped, unfortunately, but we'll take them. Need every land you can get. And we'll see if the opponent... This is one thing. I shouldn't mind mirrors as much as I do. There's still plenty of RNG and all. But, like... I'm pretty good at putting a lot of lands in my deck. My opponents usually are not. So I usually have pretty good mirror advantage based on just the amount of lands I run to hit more land drops than them, to play my commander more than them. I really wish they'd use that Field of Ruin. Would make my day. Oracle of the Alpha, huh? Let's get the power 9 in this deck. Don't be afraid, opponent. Just a little 2-3. I wonder if they'll go for Niv next turn. They do have the Field of Ruin, which is a big problem, and they haven't used it, which is weird. It's almost like they know about the Lazotep plating, but they can't. I'm not streaming. But it really messes up them wanting to go for... Like, they might want to go for Niv here, and they just can't. That's pretty good. Discard River's Rebuke, huh? Take the block, pass the damage. They have an end step coming up where they might counter this Scorching Dragonfire, but that would be fine. Tap them out. I mean, the Bankbuster definitely did its job, but how much do you want to discard to hand size? They have 3 mana open. They could have Divide by 0. Let's find out. It's time. Time for the first dragon. We know they're going to try to play one. This is going to get it really, really messy. Four mana open, huh? So when do we want to fight the fight? When we have more mana than them, probably, but their triggers resolve first, which is really awkward. Still, we can let them point a lot of triggers and then go for plating. We're definitely going to try to pick on their Niv, though. There's just no question we need to do that. So, like, they're going to want to counter this anyway. But start the triggers. We'll probably get to 5 spells cast anyhow. So they have to decide how much they want to defend this. There are a few ways to do it. My advice is to point everything at Niv until it dies. That is my advice in this situation. Alright, so they play a negate. They point back. Sure. Yeah, their triggers will resolve first, which will make this a really awkward game that we have to play with each other. Alright, so there's still 2 Niv triggers on the stack. Let's go for commit your key. Try to hold the plating to the last trigger. Because I think we can get them to spend all their mana. They let that go. Alright, this is their Niv trigger resolving, and they have 2. So if I play this, I draw. There's 1, 2 left. Alright? Kind of sucks that we have to put it on the stack first, but that's where we are. Does it resolve? It does? Yes! Maybe? Kinda? Hexproof acquired. Can they hexproof their own Niv? Eh? What are you gonna target? It has to be you. Yeah, you take that one. This is my trigger. Do I get it? If you put something on the stack, I get a new trigger. So you don't get out of it unless you can somehow channel something here. Yeah, that won't do it. That's another trigger for me. And you have to target yourself with another trigger. So, easy to forget how Niv works, but that's a pretty big oops. You countered the trigger to give me another trigger, dude. You deserve what you get. Ah, yes, more cards. I love the way this card works. Windfall? You know it. Dig, baby, dig. What are you gonna find? Nothing. Nothing at all. All right, Oracle of the Alpha, just chilling in the opener here. Actually, we have like no answers. This is a very proactive hand, but you wouldn't expect us to be a proactive deck. I think I'm going to try it against Tasha. The opponent might be scared to just run a Tasha at us, so let's see if we can throw him off. The Dragon's Fire is nice. Ooh, they have turn 2 as Kanta. That's good. That is a good one. Trying to decide if I want to tap land here or I want to seek knowledge. I guess I do need to adjust this hand quite a bit. The clock, huh? We gotta commit and Brittle Blast. Both of those are good against Tasha. What's not good? Our mana situation? I guess I'll let Dragonfire go. Our opponent's ramping ahead of us pretty well. We're drawing all the tap lands our deck can offer. But they could both be untapped lands if we draw like a mountain next turn. All right, they bin to Blood Chief's Thirst. So, Tasha? You wanna play Tasha? Eh? Alright. Let's start countering your commander. Maybe they'll play it again next turn. I'm sure they were aware that could happen. I'm sure they thought about it. Hey, Island. Alright, if they play Tasha and we Brittle Blast it, we're really happy. So, let's hope that they do. I'm gonna play this Oracle and get the Power 9 into the deck. Well, opponent, would you like to play Tasha again? Or would you like to take a different course of action? Looks like you're in a good position to do it. Okay, not the permanent I expected at all. Is that even a permanent I'm afraid of? Like, real question. I feel like I should just gold span. Shark Typhoon is a wonderful permanent, and the hard cast is always exciting. But I don't know if Niv cares. Like, Niv can shoot down the sharks. Opponent bin Xanathar, so they have a pretty funky kind of Timmy, I would say, list of Tasha. And when the opponents play the Timmy cards, you punish them. You punish them with your powerful, well thought out, carefully selected spiky answer cards. Uh-oh. That's really good. But we'll see how good it really is. What are they on? 3? Yeah, they're not going to flip his Kanta. They're still a ways away on clock. They're not going to do that 3 times in a row. They didn't shuffle the Power 9 into their deck. That is a really good play. That is very strong. However, it's only 3 cards. It's still not the end of the world. They go aggro even though I have the gold span and they're at 18. Okay, I can definitely do a lot of work here. Free mana on top of my library? I think that's going to be useful. All right, so we have to get this 7/7 out of the way, but we also want to make considerably more stuff. So let's go sacrifice for blue. Let's go opt. 1 damage. To the bottom. Draw. 1 damage. Now let's sacrifice this for 2 red. I'm gonna lightning strike my own Goldspan dragon to get another treasure, to cast another spell. Because I want as many triggers off this sucker as I can get while I can. That's a beautiful card to see. Alright, 5. So we're gonna Brittle Blast this. We're gonna use this and this to do it. So we go face. There we go. The dragons are here. If they play something like a board wipe that doesn't target, we could have an issue. But negate is ready. They have to also have that Port of Carfell and a Xanathar. There you go. There you go. Okay. So 2 damage probably won't take down this shark. Let's keep going face. They're at 10. Goldspan's still alive. With Goldspan alive, we can recast this no problem. Alright, there's a Feed the Swarm. No counterspell from the opponent. There are a good amount of sharks. The Typhoon is working out for them. I have enough mana to recast the Parun, but I don't have anything to play when I make the treasure. I need them to target my Goldspan with something, and I don't know if they will. And this is on 10. 10 is a lot. They are at 8. Man, I really want to get Niv back down, but I don't think this is the spot. Let's see if we can dig up a Time Warp. Or not a Time Warp, a Time Walk. Okay. Think we grab these. We're in a pretty good spot then. Before they untap, let's kill that thing. And we're at 15, huh? If we attack, we have the treasure, but if the Goldspan Dragon dies, then treasure doesn't mean much. We won't be able to play commit with it. They have 7. They're flipping Iskanta. This is a really close game. I think we should try to flip Iskanta too. Save the treasures for next turn. Trying to get myself as much mana as possible here. Clone Crafter. What's that gonna nab? It could nab a Goldspan or an Oracle. Oh, well, I guess there's no creatures left in my deck. I drew them both. How about that? How about that? You get nothing, Jon Snow. There are no creatures in my deck, though. You might want to plus that, Tasha. Undercity Plunder. Yeah, I'll let this go then. That's their last card, right? Okay, discard this. Do I discard this? Yeah. I think giving them a random card from my deck is super dangerous. I'll live off the top. Maybe I'll just shuffle up for a new 7. Oracle will take one of those. We go to 11. Big turn coming. Opponent does have Iskanta open, and then, what, 2 mana? Could definitely hit a counterspell from that. Ancestral Recall? Oh, God. Dragon? All right, reveal your card to me. If it's not a negate, Heartless Act? No! They let that resolve. Okay. Gonna get so much action off this. So they're gonna get a 2/2. If I attack... All right, first things first, let's resolve this. See what we draw. A land. All right, we're gonna get 5 draws. So we could take out the biggest shark. I don't think that helps us too much. Yeah, we're gonna have to draw into more removal no matter what. How to manage, how to manage, how to manage. We could go face, let's see, what do we got? We got 5 here, so what would we have to do? We'd have to draw something that can target the Goldspan Dragon, and then it would have to draw some other, like Lightning Bolt would do it. Lightning Bolt would do it. We go face. I'm not a coward. I target myself, I draw 3. It's so close, but I don't think it's there. I think I'm 1 off. I think I'm 1 off. Oh my god. Okay, I was still 3 short. Lightning Bolt doing it would have been awesome, though. Look at all those blocks. Yeah, they got it. I lose to Shark Typhoon. A worthy adversary, to be sure. Okay, on the play against Valky. Valky's pretty likely to miss against us, so this is alright. They probably intend to play it as a 7-mana Planeswalker anyway, but if we let that 7-mana Planeswalker resolve, that's a big oops on our part. Yeah, I expect a lot of discard effects from our opponent. A lot of them. We go straight for the big score. Electrolyze off the top. Let's drop the Horde. Opponent might blow up the Horde, but we take our chances there. Mana rocks. They don't just sit in the hand. There's no point. Okay, Horde is still here. We can play this tap land, pass. We've got interaction available. Opponent knows about it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Stone Rain. What? Niv. Make them deal with it. We get a counter on our Dragon Horde, and if they cast a removal spell like a Heartless Act, we draw. So for me, it's all upside. I don't expect Niv to live easily, especially with the hand we have. Feed the Swarm? Awesome. That's a very painful way to remove Niv. Thoughtseize. Alright. And they do miss the land drop. Success. Let's give them the business. They're on 16. They're gonna die really fast, especially if they keep missing land drops. Paying for that ward, it ain't cheap. They don't do it. Okay. Again. what? You gonna kill this? Ward 3. All right, they're at 2, and we have Electrolyze in hand, and they know it. Sad robot. Well, sad robot's gonna get sadder. You're gonna watch your friends die. Dang. The aggro plan pays off. And we are back for the post-game wraps and the stats powered by MTGA Assistant on our boy, Niv-Mizzet Parun. We, 22-7, 75% win rate. On the play 7 times, that leaves on the draw 20 times. Totally random. 100% random, of course. So if you can put up a 75% win rate in a record like 22-7 when you're on the draw 20 times out of 27 games, you are probably doing something right. This is an absurdly powerful deck for the meta and is right on the edge of Hell Q. Your most often opponents, all various kinds of Goblin Lords, various kinds of Golos and Niv decks, which are definitely Hell Q level things. The Mirror, of course. Mono White, Heliod, Adeline, which can be very difficult if they get the right draw. Emery, which is a very challenging commander, as well as Jacob Hawken, and Sheldred. So, yeah. Tasha. Tasha's another one that you come up against a lot. These are some of the heavy hitters of the format, and without question, you have to be on your game to pilot Niv-Mizzet Parun into such a field and be a victor. So hopefully this list helps you do that if you like the draw go interactive style of it. And of course, if you're looking to climb your historic Brawl ladder, of which does not exist, it's here, it's in our hearts, it's in our souls. If you're looking to excel at historic Brawl, this is a good deck to master because it gets you used to both, one, the blue kind of interaction, the back and forth, the counter games, what to counter, when to counter, how to counter, and then two, what you can't counter, like Niv itself, and how to set up to take advantage of an uncounterable threat. You also learn a lot about what counters the uncounterable. And what I mean by that are cards like Divide by Zero and Commit to Memory. You learn what cards make Niv a lot worse, Witness Protection, and then you have to play accordingly as you go through the games. So, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you're ready to take Niv out to the semi-hell queue of Historic Brawl, and I hope it brings you a great victory. Being a Mastermind Dragon must indeed be a joyous experience. I know I had fun. I'm sure you will as well. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You are cool.